Hi, this is Shell of Shell's Creations. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get a metal stamped look on these metal tags, something that looks like you engraved the words on them, and something like this one right here is what we're going to do. This is using the CU Metal Tag Toolkit, and I'm going to use the taller of the two copper rectangles. It's rectangle number 1. I will link up the CU Metal Tag Toolkit in the details for this video. Okay, here's my metal tag toolkit. First, I need the word, and so let's choose a color, just a copper color from, go ahead and use your eyedropper and pick a copper that's in your piece here. Let's see. I would like that to be centered. And I'm not sure that's not just a smidgen too big. I'm using a font called Humble Bee. Let's go down to 30 pixels. Yeah, that's about what I want. Okay, let's place that. Now, if you're using a font that this one kind of has a little bit of playfulness to it, you notice that the bottom of the L is not quite straight, neither is the I, and so I'm going to go ahead and leave the letters as they are. But some of the ones I've done, like the established in 2004, I went ahead and rasterized this layer and tilted some of the letters just a little bit so that it gave it more of a handmade look and not too perfect. That's key to making your digital scrapbooking supplies look accurate, is making them not quite perfect. Okay, let's change the blending mode on this one, or the shadow mode on this one. Let's go ahead and double click on that layer, and we want a drop shadow. No, we don't. We want an inner shadow. There we go. And the settings are at multiply and 75%. I go ahead and leave that, but that's a little too deep. I want to drop that to a distance of 2 and a size of about 2 on that, because these stamps haven't gone very far in this copper. It's not that soft. Okay, let's try that. Now let's duplicate that layer. So hold down Alt and click and drag in your layers palette. But this time I don't want the inner shadow, so I'm just going to go ahead and shut off the inner shadow. And I want to change the blending mode on this one to multiply, because it's going to be dark down in there. Let's go ahead and change it so that it's kind of dark down in there. Okay, that's still looking a little too much color down in there, so I'm going to go ahead and add a hue saturation layer. It's easier to see if I've got it right if it's clipped to just that layer. So let's go ahead and clip it to that layer. And then let's go back and look at how desaturated we want it to be. Quite a ways to get it dark in there. I think I like right about, I still want it to look like it's copper underneath there, but a lot of shadow, a lot of darkness on it. I'm going to go with -80 on that. Okay, the other thing that would happen if you were actually stamping into metal like this is that the edges right around these letters would end up being slightly raised, and so they would tend to wear more. And so the next thing we want to do is kind of add a shine to the very edges. Okay, the last thing would be that, as if this was really stamped into metal like this, these tiny little edges here would end up being kind of raised as the metal was pushed out around the stamp. And so over time they would wear there and kind of be shiny right around the edges. So we need to add that shine. Let's add a new layer above our hue saturation layer. Let's go ahead and pick a warm coppery color. I've just clicked around until I found something, and then kind of go on a little bit more peachy orange, and we can come back later and tweak that color if we need to. And I need a soft edged brush, and I think 20 is probably a little bigger than what I want. Let's try 15 and see how that works. Okay, Command or Control and click on our text so that we have those letters outlined. Open up our Paths menu, create a path from the selection, and then go ahead and stroke the path with the brush. Okay, I think that's probably about what we're looking for. It's hard to see as I'm working on it with the path outlined like this, and it wouldn't be hard to recreate it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the work path so that I can see what I want. Now, another problem I have here is that this paint is also on the inside. I don't want the shine down in where my engraving is, so I'm going to go ahead and Command click on the letters again, and make sure I'm on my painted layer now, and hit delete so I can remove those so that those will stay. Now we just need to make this paint look a little bit like a shine. So let's try changing the mode to screen, and then let's just lower the opacity. As we lower the opacity on that, Okay, that's going to give us a bit of a shine there, but I don't know if I quite like the color of that. So let's go in and play with the hue saturation of that level. I just want it to play with that layer, so I'm going to go ahead and Alt click on the crevice in between the two to clip to it, and then bring back up the adjustments so that I can see. Let's try desaturating that layer. I kind of want to play around and tweak it. We might need to make it a little warmer. There we go. Let's try changing the hue so that it's slightly warmer, so that it doesn't quite have that yellowish tone that the screen can sometimes give us. And then I might try desaturating it just a smidgen. Okay, and let's lower the opacity on that one a little bit more till we just have the look of just a little bit of a shine on the edges there. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing. That shine would remove some of the texture here, so I'm going to try and remove just a smidgen of that. So let's hold down Alt and click on that layer and drag it down. Now I don't want the mode to be screen this time. I want the mode to be normal because I want it solid. I want it to block out some of that texture, but that makes it glow quite a bit too much. Let's try lowering that to about 7%, and then let's take our screen layer and also lower that back down to about 19-20%. Okay, that'll give our just a little bit more smoothness to where that's been rubbed off like that. Okay, there you go. That's how I would make it look like we had, stamped into metal or kind of engraved those letters on there. If you have any questions, you can reach me at shells.creations1@gmail.com. Thank you.